interesting thing about speed is that a lot of people have got the concept wrong. Everyone says, oh, with speed you can do anything, but they also say speed kills. So we're going to dive into speed and we're going to talk about acceleration, deceleration, speed, how to make it, how to lose it, how to control it, and how everything works. Here's an interesting fact. You can feel acceleration and you can feel deceleration, but you don't feel speed. So what I mean by that, if you're in an airplane or a car and you're traveling, you don't feel the speed. But on the airplane, as it accelerates on the runway and takes off, you get pushed back into your seat. So you can feel acceleration, or if the plane lands, you can feel deceleration. But while you got speed, you don't feel that. So you go, okay, why is that important? Well, you need to accelerate to get the speed. So if we go back into learn to surf, a lot of people try balance, and then when they accelerate, because they don't anticipate it, they end up falling over backwards. So if we anticipate acceleration, it becomes way more easier to find speed. There's an easy way and a hard way to accelerate. On a bicycle, you could pedal your ass off, in which case you're using your body and you'll generate speed. Or you could go downhill and you could relax and you could enjoy the ride, right? The best surfers, when they surf, they make it look effortless. So do you think they're pedaling or they're taking the best line down the wave? They're taking the best line down the wave. So with acceleration, if you work smart, by working smart, you're going to create time, you're going to create space to make better decisions. The people that work hard, they feel like they don't have time, they're working hard, they can't turn. And then the acceleration is the main focus. Now, with that acceleration, a lot of people go mid-face and they just accelerate to the shoulder. And then the harder they accelerate and the more they go to the shoulder, the more they start to decelerate. In other words, as much as they're pedaling, the slower they're going. Where good surfers slow down, they surf in the pocket and they find it really, really easy to generate speed. And then when they've got speed, they relax into the speed and it looks like they're not trying and it looks effortless. So let's jump into that and let's figure out what the hell's going on. Here's the thing with acceleration. When an airplane takes off, it dumps a lot of fuel trying to generate thrust. And then once it's got speed and it's got thrust, it then levels out. And the concept behind that is it's trying to be aerodynamic. So it's not relying on more effort and more thrust. It's doing less to maintain speed. So you might ask, okay, why is this really important in surfing? Well, in surfing, so the first thing you got to do is generate thrust. So instead of using your body and trying to race down the line to generate the thrust, why not drop into the wave and take the best, fastest line down the wave to generate the acceleration? Then, once you've got the acceleration, you need to get speed. Now, if I'm standing on my surfboard and the board's flat on the water, there's going to be a lot of friction on that board. All right, so how do I make that surfboard hydrodynamic? Well, if you put your board on rail, you're going to minimize the drag on the board, and then the board's going to turn, and then you'll maintain that speed throughout the turn. To explain that better, let's go onto the floor and do some experiments. Here we've got a block, and look at the surface area. So if I put all that surface area onto there, I'm going to balance really nicely on this puppy. And then it's like, all right, go. And all it's doing is it's creating friction, it's creating drag. But I've got wonderful balance. All right, surfing's not about balancing. It's actually about being off balance so that you can accelerate. Now, if I'm balancing on this and I try to push it across the ground, all right, lots of effort. Now you'll notice the ball, the surface area that's in contact with the ground is about the size of my palm, all right? And that is rolling effortlessly and it can turn effortlessly. So the concept around a ball is that it's the most efficient way to travel. So when we surf, a wave is a circle that's drawing water up, throwing it down, and it's efficiently traveling down the reef. So there's the draw up where you extend and the throw down where you compress. So now if you're compressing and extending inside of that energy, you're going to be able to go up and down the wave. There's a however. If I'm standing on my board and my board's flat in the water, I have got maximum friction and resistance on the bottom of the board, and you'll see it as a straight line across the bottom where it pushes water. But if I'm leaning and my rail is cutting through the water, I'm reducing friction, I'm reducing drag, and I'm going to be able to maintain speed and drive and acceleration throughout that turn. So, and the longer you hold onto your turns, doing a figure eight, minimizing that transition where you stand on top of your board, the more speed you're going to have throughout that wave. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe so we can get you more content.